Hello everyone, my name's Nightfoxx and welcome to The Building Game. Now if you're watching this video, I'm going to show you how to play this brand new minigame for Xbox. And when you first come into the world, you're going to come into the lobby that looks, well, it looks like this. And so you've got the name of the game right over there, and over here you've got the information board which has all the information on it, including the rules and the credits. Just to give you an idea, it was made 100% by me, but it was inspired by the PC version of the building game that was made by Seth Bling. So now when you come in here, you'll meet up with your friends, you'll gather each other, but you're going to have a little bit of wait time. And while you wait, you're going to need to be choosing a category, an overall category to follow for today's game. And so for the sake of this video, we are going to choose the category video games. And as you can see, some of my friends have already put in the theme here, which kind of gives you just something to do while you're waiting, and also give a pretty good thumbnail for those that want to use it. So after you do that and all the players are ready to go, you're going to count how many players that you have, and then you're going to find out which number corresponds with the number of players, and then you're going to flip the lever. Now when you flip the lever, you can see here that all the pods will open for the number amount of players. So if you have, like, let's say there's 5 pods right now. The last 3 did not open and the first 5 did. For some reason I only had, if I had 7 pods open and I flip that, then you'll see all 7 pods open, and then the last one will stay shut. This keeps from any gaps and stuff being in the game, and so yeah, that's all you have to worry about. Just pick the number of players is playing in the game, and the number of pods will open up. So now comes the very first thing that you're going to need to remember, and that is what player you're going to be. So there's player numbers above each pod, and once you choose that player, just remember the number. So I'm going to be player number 4, and I'm going to go in and go to the first pod that we're going to need to go to. As you can see, it shuts behind me so nobody else can follow me. We're going to hop into the minecart, and this is going to take us to what is going to be called basically like a pre-first round, and this is where we choose our topic. So you'll pick a topic for others to build, and you'll write the topic on the anvil, or on paper using the anvils right here, and then you'll just put the paper in the dispenser. And then the hint that I've got here is the sillier the build, the more fun that you'll have. And I'll show you pretty much what that means. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pick the paper and write our topic. And so I picked Mario wearing a turtle shell. So once we've got that written out on the piece of paper, we're just going to place it into the dispenser, and the dispenser should open up the door. And the door is located right underneath the sign, and this will take us to the very first round. So I'll hop in the cart and just push the button, and it'll take us right here to the first round where we're going to need to build. And so what we'll do, we'll look in the dispenser closest to us, and so we are going to be required to build a Triforce on a pineapple. Alright, so we're gonna leave the paper in the dispenser. That is important for the end of the game. So we got 5 minutes to build, and if we finish early, we are going to go pull that lever. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna build right here really fast. And there we go, my pineapple with the Triforce is on there. It's not the best looking pineapple in the world, but when you're only given 5 minutes, that's pretty much the best you can do. So I'm going to go over here, and I finished actually before the 5-minute timer went off, and we're going to go ahead and pull the lever to get ready for round 1B. Now a few notes can be listed right here just to let you know that the door will not open until all the levers from every room have been pulled. That way we keep everybody on the same track, and we don't have people going in rooms whenever the other ones aren't finished. So we're going to sit right here and wait till the door opens. And once all the levers are pulled, or the timer runs out, the doors will open up, and you will hear a ding, much like you just did. And that means the next round is ready to go. And so what we're going to do, you're going to go from the building, you're going to go left in through this door onto the next pod and find out what we're going to be guessing was built. So now, as you notice, we can't go cheat and look in here in the pod and see what was in there that they had to build. We've actually got to guess what they were building just looking at the build itself. And so there's a lot of options here. Obviously you can see the zombies. There's one laying on the ground. Looks like there's some kind of Steve person with a bow and arrow. This could be Minecraft, but it also could be other games with zombies as well. And I don't know though. I don't know what I want to do. This guy, they kind of look like Hulk almost. Like a whole bunch of little Hulks. I don't know. So we're going to come over here, have a guess, and then actually go ahead and pick out a piece of paper and write down our guess. And I'm actually going to guess Resident Evil. That's a very zombie type game and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and write down my guess there. I'm going to put it in the dispenser. And when that happens, you should notice the red square that was right here before has now opened up. And now we just drop through and we'll proceed to the next round, which will be round number 2. And once we get in here, it'll be the same thing over again. We'll go into the dispenser and build what is listed. And in this case, this round, we are going to have to build Tails from Sonic. So again, we'll leave the dispenser, or we'll leave the paper in the dispenser. We're going to have 5 minutes again. So let's go ahead and get started. And oh no, we ran out of time. It looks like this time the 5-minute round is up, which means the round is over. I didn't get to finish. This is my build right here. This is the best Tails I could come up with the allotted time. So now it's time for us to go ahead and go to the next round. And so sometimes when you go through to the next round, you'll come across a mine cart. And basically this just means you are at the end of the building game and you need to go back to the other side. Obviously this game cannot be a circle, so there has to be an end, in which case you have to go from the beginning back to the end of the line. And so that's basically what this is just doing. It's the same thing as before. You get into the minecart, and once we get into the next room, we're going to be deciding what was being built. And here we go. We've got to guess what this guy is. And I have a pretty good idea with what this one is. This one's a little bit more obvious than the last one. I think I only know of one one pink blob here, one pink bubble, and that's Kirby. So I'm pretty sure that this guess is Kirby. I think that was this person's guess. So just as before, we are going to go through after we figure out what the build was, and we're going to guess. And so I'm going to put my guess in real fast. And just as before, we are going to put it in the dispenser. And so after that, it'll open up the floor here. We'll jump through and we will go ahead into the final round of building. And as you can see, after you've done this one cycle through, you'll pretty much get the hang of it. All the other 2 rounds are just pretty much repetitive. So now we're in the final round. Let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to be building now. And so this round, we are going to be building a Ninja Turtle. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the final round of building. And there we go. We have completed our Ninja Turtle. I think this is more of a Leonardo to be more specific. But there we go. That is the build. We have finished on time this time again. We're going to go ahead and pull the lever, let everybody know we're done, and we're going to wait until everybody else finishes to begin the last part of the game. Oh, and I heard the ding, which means the next round is ready to begin here. And so we're going to do part B of round 3 where we're guessing. And, oh, look. Look at him. He's so cute. I know exactly who that is. That is Mario. So we're going to go ahead and do that. One thing I should mention, if you do figure out, if you do get lost, while we're in this last room here, there are rules and let you know what round 3B, what we're supposed to be doing this round, which is doing the guessing and not the building and stuff like that. So when I consider round 3 or the first round, the first part of round, which is just the first like 3A or regular 3 to be the building part, and then 3B to be the guessing part. So we are in 3B right now. We're going to guess. We can't go this way because obviously it's the wrong way. We can't go back through. It won't let us. Once we actually go through the door, this locks itself off to where we can't go in anymore. So let's go ahead and finish off this last little build here. Looks like we're going to just guess. We know who it is. We're going to guess Mario. So let's go ahead and do that real fast. And now, this time, since this is actually the last round, we're going to go ahead and put it in this chest. And when we do so, it will open the floor, and as you can see, it will actually take the item out of the chest and put it somewhere else. Don't worry if it's not in there anymore. It's supposed to do that. But it will open up the floor, and we are done. We are done with the building game. Now, let's go to the end room where we are going to see what our guess turned into. And so when we get into this final room, what we need to do is locate our player chest. And so we were player 4. But as you can see, the light above player 4 is not lit, which means our thing is not in there just yet. So we're going to have to wait up until it lights up, and when it does, then we can figure out what our guest turned into. And our original guess, if you guys remember, was Mario wearing a turtle shell, and it ended up being Leonardo. So as you can see, the building game did not do well for us this time. It didn't go the same all the way through. There was definitely some changes in the builds and stuff like that. So let's go see. Let's see why this turned from Mario wearing a turtle shell to Leonardo. So it's usually at this point when you're back with your friends in a Skype call or in an Xbox Live party, you all go and go through your pods. Here's your player row. Let's see, I was row number 4 because I was player number 4. And you'll go through your row and see how the builds changed from your topic. So we'll go all the way back to the beginning. As you can see, we've already got somebody built here, and all the dispensers are reset, so now we can actually look to see what was behind these. And so here was my original one, was Mario wearing a turtle shell. So this is what somebody built using the Mario wearing the turtle shell, and I could see it. I could definitely see what's going on here. There's a Mario wearing a Mario hat, and there's his turtle shell. So then we go to the back and we see what the guess was, and the guess was a Koopa Troopa. Alright, well, I guess I could see it because of the color. And maybe they thought just the hat was just to signify that it was a Mario character, and maybe they thought that that was a Koopa Troopa. Okay, so now we go to the next pod and see what was built, and as you can see here is somebody's version of a Koopa Troopa, and I can see it. I can see the resemblance of the Koopa Troopa. I see the eyes. That was done pretty spot on in the shell. However, most Koopa Troopas, unless it was in an early rendition, most Koopa Troopas are definitely a lighter color. And so if we go through the dispenser and see what was guessed was a Ninja Turtle. And okay, so now we go to the next pod and we see that a Ninja Turtle was built. And here we go. Here is the Ninja Turtle in all of its glory, and you can see he has a sword right there, and that's when they come back through the pod and put the final guess, which is what you have in your hand, and the final guess was a Leonardo. So mine went from a Mario wearing wearing a turtle shell to Leonardo. And some builds are going to be similar, some will be different. You can go through each pod with each player and see how they changed. It's a lot of fun to play, and I highly recommend you do so. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions on how to make this game a little bit better, feel free to comment or message me on Twitter, and I'll try to do my best to take those comments and suggestions into consideration. One final note I had for the host of the game is that when you're through with it, all you need to do is exit without saving, and when you get back in it, it'll reset the entire map and allow for limitless play and hours of fun. So that's going to be it for this tutorial. Hopefully you were able to get everything that you needed to know to learn how to play this game step by step. Keep in mind, if you do get lost, there are signs along the way in each room to pretty much tell you what you need to do at what point. But that's going to be it for me, guys. Hopefully you enjoy playing this game just as much as I enjoyed making it. Until next time, stay foxy, everybody. And I will see you all later. Bye, guys!